It is said that an entrepreneurship can give great dopamine in day to day operations that matches nothing else. A sharp business acumen is what it takes to grow from a small hand to mouth business to a great empire. Today, let us dive into a story of a business which began with passion, saw its share of smart business moves, shrewd branding, unique marketing, tragedies, and twists of fate, grabbing right opportunities at right time, battling trademarks, thinking big, and finally becoming a multinational giant. This story is not only mesmerizing to listen, but also has a lot of lessons for entrepreneurship. Welcome to the Fintelligent Investor channel. I'm CA Pratiksha Pai. We Indians love snacks and stories. So today let me tell you the story of how the globally famous snack giant Haldirams began as a very humble beginning selling bhujia for just 2 paise to today clocking almost 13,000 crores in latest revenues. How this place of interest of Bikaner became the sector of interest of Blackstone. This is not a fairy tale but an adventure. If you feel my talking speed is slow, you can watch at a faster speed. Relevant timestamps are also given. Let's dive in. Shri Ganga Bishan Agarwal, fondly called Haldiram by his grandmother, was born in 1908 in a poor family in Bikaner. His grandfather used to sell bhujia in a small shop for around 2 paise per kilo. Haldiram had grown seeing his aunt and grandmother prepare bhujiyas. At the young age of 12, he started getting involved in his grandfather's business and worked very hard at the shop. He mastered the art of making bhujia, but he knew that he did not want to confine himself to a small shop like his grandfather, but wanted to expand. To do this, his products had to not only be different from other bhujia sellers, but also have a likability among customers. Every business owner feels that his or her product is the best. But if you want to see a business growth never seen before, then you need to take some pivots never taken before. Haldiram used to prepare bhujia using besan, but he realized that people also liked moat dal, and this was evident from the fact that moat dal was used in many local dishes. He had observed his aunt using moat dal along with besan in preparing bhujiyas, and he perfected this recipe to prepare bhujiyas around the year 1937. This new recipe proved to be a delicious success, and people thronged to purchase bhujia from Haldiram's shop. However, there was something that he felt was still not perfect. His aim for perfectionism led him to understanding another need of improvement in his product. He saw that the bhujiyas were thick and soft, whereas if the same was made thin and crispy, it would enhance customer experience and satisfaction. In order to achieve this, he again had to do some rectifications or pivots. The batter had to be thinner and he needed to have a mesh with finer holes to produce thinner bhujiyas. He met up with many mesh makers in Bikaner to create the mesh perfect for a top quality thin bhujia. Parallelly, he also experimented with various consistencies of the batter. After months of experimentation, he finally reached a perfect level of batter consistency and mesh requirement. This resulted in perfectly thin and crispy bhujia. The customers loved it. He increased the prices of his bhujia, but still the sales went on growing. As is the case in any business, just having a good product is not enough. The world must know that your product is top notch and trustworthy. Haldiram had found a great success on the newly made thin and crispy bhujia, which saw his sales increasing exponentially. However, there were many other shops too which were selling bhujia. Haldiram knew that the name of his bhujia has to be imprinted on the minds of the people, for which good branding was necessary. Keeping this in mind, he named his bhujia as Dangar Sev after the popular Maharaja of Bikaner, Maharaja Dangar Singh, who was well respected in Bikaner. The Maharaja was very famous and influential, and by naming the snack after the Maharaja, Haldiram borrowed some of that trust and influence that the name commanded. This branding worked wonders for Haldiram as his bhujia got a premium positioning and stood out when compared to others. With the newfound success, Haldiram again increased the price of his bhujia, which was happily accepted by the customers. All was going well, and Haldiram saw a growth in business as well as in his family. He had a wife and three sons and was carrying on business well with his two brothers. But as it is said, every story must have a twist, right? In 1944, at the age of 36, a big twist of fate hit Haldiram. Due to family issues, he had to part ways with his family and his business. He had to leave everything and was left with just 100 rupees, with which he had to start over a new life. And this 100 rupees was his initial capital towards starting the Haldirams, which in itself is a big empire today. He rented a small house for his family and brainstormed ideas for his new business, which he had to start now. His wife was adept at making moong dal, which was a staple for Bikaneris. He purchased moong dal, spices, and set up a small kitchen. Haldiram and his wife would prepare moong dal early in the morning, which he would then roam around the markets to sell. He prioritized quality over everything else. With passing of time, he also started to prepare and sell bhujias as well. Over time, the business caught up well and he established a small shop. His business reputation and quality of products spread around, and customers started queuing outside his shop to purchase his famous Dangar Sev. Haldiram had gained his position as the top bhujia seller. Over the next few years, he focused solely on growth of his shop. Business was going great at Haldiram's shop. However, a breakthrough was awaiting him and his business. In the 1950s, Haldiram and his wife visited Kolkata to attend a wedding. Haldiram had prepared bhujia for the guests at the wedding. What transpired at the wedding was something very unexpected for Haldiram. Not only did the guests love the bhujia prepared by Haldiram, but they also complimented the product and started giving bulk orders to Haldiram for his bhujia. The smart brain of Haldiram sensed an opportunity here. He saw that there were no big or established bhujia sellers in Kolkata. Without losing precious time, Haldiram sent his youngest of three sons, Rameshwar Lal, along with his eldest grandson, Shiv Kishan, to set up their business in Kolkata. Just like how he had done previously, in Kolkata too, he started the business with a small house and an 8 square feet shop. Here too, the business gained good repute and spread through the word of mouth. Within no time, the business was selling around 150 to 200 kgs of bhujia every day. In the next 12 years, the business in Kolkata grew at a rate where the business was almost doubling every year. So much so that the business at Kolkata was bigger than that at Bikaner as well. By 1968, the business structure was that Moolchand, the eldest son of Haldiram, was handling the Bikaner business. Satyanarayan, the second son, had separated from family business and operated independently. And Rameshwar Lal, the third and the youngest son of Haldiram, operated the Kolkata business. Haldiram had taken semi retirement from business and was involved only in supervising. However, a mega turn of events was set to unfold, which would be a pivotal moment in forming the present day Haldirams. Haldiram's eldest grandson, Shiv Kishan, who had been sent to Kolkata with Rameshwar Lal, decided to open a branch of Haldiram at Nagpur in 1968. Shiv Kishan observed that the Nagpur locals loved local sweets and sweets of certain neighboring states, but were not much exposed to sweets from other parts of the country. Sensing a massive gap, Shiv Kishan ventured into selling Kaju Katli along with Bhujia at Nagpur. In order to win over customers, he started offering Kaju Katlis as free samples. The people of Nagpur loved this new sweet and the demand for it grew exponentially. Seeing this success, Shiv Kishan introduced many other sweets in his establishment like Malai Laddu, Rasgulla, and Rasmalai. This was the first step towards setting Haldiram's as a settled player in Indian sweet industry. By 1971, Shiv Kishan had established two outlets in Nagpur and business was thriving. Despite this, the eagerness to grow more was always there. Shiv Kishan happened to visit a restaurant at Nagpur which offered only dosa and idli. The locals loved it and the restaurant was always full. This gave an idea to Shiv Kishan to start a restaurant. He wanted to sell Bikaneri snacks to the locals, but in order to first get the customers to his restaurant, he too started off with idli and dosa, the dishes preferred by the locals. Once the customers were in, he offered them a taste of samosa and kachori too. And similar to what happened with Kaju Katli, the demand for samosa and kachori also went up. The restaurant was always filled with customers and the seating capacity had to be doubled. In the next few years, Shiv Kishan went on to set up multiple outlets of Haldirams across Nagpur. Haldirams was no longer just a snacks business. It had now forayed into snacks, sweets, and restaurants. In 1975, the youngest son of Haldiram, Rameshwar Lal, who was handling the Kolkata business too, separated from the family business structure and started carrying on the business independently. An agreement was reached, which stated that Rameshwar Lal and his sons will not do business outside West Bengal and Moolchand and his sons will not enter West Bengal. Though the Nagpur branches of business were performing quite well, Shiv Kishan had bigger ambitions. He wanted to make Haldirams a national brand. And we all know the famous saying in India, the one who rules Delhi rules India. Shiv Kishan knew that he should establish the business at Delhi, the capital of India. He chose his younger brother Manohar Lal, in who he saw a great potential, and sent him to Delhi to set up and establish the Haldiram business at Delhi. Manohar Lal came to Delhi with his younger brother Madhusudan, and the brothers saw that Delhi offered not only a fierce competition but also a high demand for the products. Bhujia was not a unique product at Delhi, and so the brothers knew that the only way to win in Delhi was to focus on innovating the product and the flavors to keep up the competition. With the monetary help from elder brother Shiv Kishan, the two younger brothers set up a house and a factory and started the Delhi business in 1983. They worked hard and not only built their reputation in Delhi but were also on the brink of being profitable within just 1 year when a big tragedy hit the business out of nowhere. The anti-Sikh riots affected almost entire Delhi and the Haldiram's business was no different. The workshop and house of Manohar Lal got burnt to ashes and for the next 2 months, business fell to zero. Not being the ones to give up, Manohar Lal took monetary help from the Nagpur business and restarted the business. Though everything was lost, the two things which were intact were the brothers' business reputation and determination. With a positive reputation that he had built, the business started picking up again. Over the next few years, business started to flourish and he established a 2000 square feet factory in the late 80s, as well as opened new outlets. Now, the brothers Shiv Kishan and Manohar Lal wanted Haldirams to be a global brand. After the liberalization that happened in the early 90s, the brothers saw that foreign brands like PepsiCo and Nestle and Kellogg's started to sell packaged foods in India. However, these snacks were westernized and not Indian in taste. They saw this gap as a huge opportunity for them. They entered the packaged snack market by introducing Bikaneri Bhujia and Aloo Bhujia. They ventured into nitrogen packaging of the products, which increased the shelf life of the products from a mere few days to a few months. Once the new packaging was set, Haldiram was now no more restricted to Delhi or Nagpur. They established presence in every city, town, and village of India. The customers responded very well to the packaged Indian snacks, which prompted the brand to introduce even more items in its packaged food segment and diversify further. Items like rasgulla, pickles, son papdi, and bel puri were introduced in packaged format, which were relished by the customers. Very soon, Haldiram's was selling more than 400 packaged snack items. Not only did they sell packaged items, but they sold it in different sizes to suit customer needs and affordability. Further, Haldiram's onboarded thousands of distributors and lakhs of retailers to reach every nook and corner of the country. They made the packaging attractive by tapping into color psychology to enhance sales. Furthermore, having complete control of manufacturing and costs, the company also brought down prices when they felt something to be too expensive for Indian pockets. Today, Haldiram's is one of the most popular and loved brands in India by seeing its presence in every Indian household despite the status. The brothers' dream of taking the brand global has come true, with Haldiram now seeing presence in more than 80 countries across the globe. What started with just 100 rupees in 1944 today stands at a massive valuation of 75,000 to 80,000 crore rupees. The brand, which sold Bhujia for a mere 2 paise, has today, as a global brand, achieved a revenue of 12,800 crores with a profit after tax of around 1,400 crores. This story has its own share of bitterness too. Feuds within the family, trademark disputes, which went on for nearly 15 years, and much more. But when you look back at the storyline, the growth that came from impeccable business determination and the constant urge to grow to the next level has brought the brand to where it has reached today, at the top and a crown jewel in the Indian packaged snack sector. I hope this video was helpful to you to learn something from the story of Haldiram's. Please like the video and share it with your friends and family. I will bring more such amazing business stories to you. So stay subscribed, stay connected. Thank you.